Hey, what's going on? So today I'm super pumped. I've got this brand new Bosch GSM12SD. This is the Glide Miter Saw, the 12-inch version. I had a DeWalt, what was it, a DWS 782 before this, and I got this trailer. I upgraded my trailer. This is the next size up from what I had. This has the dual wheels and it's also tall enough to walk in. It's a little wider, a little longer. So my plan all along was to make kind of a mobile shop. And the downside to the DeWalt saw was, if you have one or if you've seen them, they have these sliding rail systems and they go back and it hits the wall. So you had to have it like almost 4 feet out from the wall to the handle on the saw to have enough clearance that when you pushed it back, it didn't hit the wall. And this thing takes up way less space, so I can use this in there because it has its own little knuckle system. So the video today, I'm just going to be unboxing this thing and setting it up and make a few cuts and see how it is, because I already sold my DeWalt saw, so I'm super pumped to try this thing out. Based on all the reviews I've seen, it is a beast. So I'll put some links down in the description for this and for the blades that I use and some other tools. You can always check out my website, borsellinocarpentry.com. I have a full tool list on there, so you can see all of the tools that I use besides this, all my power tools and hand tools and stuff. I'm working on it right now, so the list is expanding daily. So, all right, let's get into this. Alrighty, so we've got the instruction booklet. This thing, I don't know, I've never used one, but they hold the board down. Looks like the knob for the handle maybe. A dust bag. And that's the saw. Ta-da! Oh yeah. So we got to pull out this styrofoam blocks here. This looks like the pin for the thing. Yep. And that'll let that walk out. Wow, that thing glides so nice. Wow. All right, so right off the bat, this thing seems pretty freaking beefy. There's knobs on the back to slide the, oh my God, it just moves so nice. How is it moving that nice? It feels like there's like, oh, there is, yeah, there's grease in there. It's all greased up. This is all greased up. I mean, it won't stay that way forever, but that's pretty nice. So let me quickly run down some of the features here. This lever here is what allows you to tilt the bevel. So on the DeWalt saws and most other saws, it's in the back over here. So you have to reach behind the saw, loosen it up. This one, you just click it and boom, you can move it. And right now this isn't, you know, this is just sitting on this sawhorses, so it's moving a lot. But I have a stand that I'm gonna put this on, which will give this thing a whole lot more rigidity. So anyway, you got the bevel here. As I already showed you, here in the back, there is a lock. I don't know what that does. Oh, that gives you a lock, stops it at 33.9. Does it also do 22? No, it does not. Just 33.9. So I don't know if that's for crown or whatnot. So this knob here lets you, so if it's, you go back from 0 a little bit and you turn it, that will let you bevel the other direction. And then as soon as you pull it back up, it snaps back into place, so then it goes back to 0. And then when you're going all the way to the left, this will actually unlock it so you can go past 45 degrees a little bit, which is pretty cool if you got to overcut something. Oh, it does it on the right too. Look at that. So let's do it on the right side as well. Max bevel left or right. That's pretty cool. And let's see here. All right, we'll lock this back down. And then to change the angle, you just loosen this up and then grab that little guy and you can move it around. Pretty straightforward there. Lock it back down so it can't move. So if you're not locked into a number, boom. Nice. Now my DeWalt had a function, I don't know if this does. I haven't found it yet. DeWalt had a function where you could bypass the detents. So if you were on 0 and you wanted to be like just off of 0, you could turn that off, but I don't see that on here. All right, so then I'm guessing these little flappers are the little wings, like that. That's pretty sweet. Not super sturdy, but it gives you another little something. Move around to the back. So this is how you slide the fence out of the way, so when you go to bevel, you don't hit this thing. And these have a little like chain on it so you don't lose it. Now, on the DeWalt, you can pull that thing right off, so if it's in the way for some reason, this way you don't lose the thing, which is nice. And then you just slide it back on. And this is sliding really smooth. There's a ton of grease in there, which is cool. It won't stay that way forever, but at least for now it's nice and smooth, easy to use. And it's the exact same thing on the other side, just like that. And these are sturdy. I had I think it was a Hitachi saw, and these would like bend, they wiggled. So it was never sturdy. I didn't have that saw for very long, so I went back to a DeWalt. But I'm glad these are sturdy. That's one thing I like. So you can set baseboard or crown on here and you don't have to worry about this moving. So then here's a tool. I'm guessing maybe for blade changes. Not really sure. We'll find out. So right here is the dust collection port. And you can see it, they designed it so it misses just barely everywhere. Obviously you can't have it plugged in there, but if you're not using it, you could have it turned. I don't know why you would. It has like a, it's really strange that they have it do that. It has like a stop there, so it can't go past here. And then same thing, it can't go past there. And the bag has like a rubber thing on it, plastic thing, so it seems like you kind of lock it in place, I guess. Like that. And then it allows the bag to freely turn, but there's these little locking tabs in there, so. And then you just push those in and you can pull it back out. That seems like a part that would break very easily. And then of course, this is the whole reason I bought this saw. That right there, this glide mechanism. That's pretty cool. And yeah, so that locks it in place. So if you have to do cuts where you don't need to slide it, or for transport, you have it just locked in place. And again, there's grease on there. There's a lot of grease in all the spots that you want grease, which is cool. Does this lock there too? It does lock there. Ah, that's cool. So it locks either in or out, or whatever, out or in or out. Right. Alrighty, and then on this side, looks like we have a, like a depth stopper. So if you didn't want to cut all the way through, I'm not exactly sure what you would use that for. If you wanted to make some little grooves in it or something, and then you can turn that off and go full depth again. But I don't think I'm going to use that. You never know. This is the button to hold it down for transport. And then here's the button to lock the blade for doing your blade changes. And what I really love about this is clear. On a lot of other saws, this is not clear, and you have to like I used to have to pull this up to see the blade while I was cutting. So that's nice. So like if this is where I'm cutting from, it's clear, and then it's got these little grooves in it so you can see where the blade is as it goes down, which is nice. I usually end up having to pull this thing up out of the way, but the fact that it's clear and you can see it, that's cool. And this is really nice. To calibrate the miter, just loosen the 4 screws here, and then you can change the detents, which seems a lot easier than other saws. You have to like flip it over and adjust it from underneath. So that's pretty cool. Also, I'm seeing here it has roof rafter pitch angles. I don't do roofing or framing anymore, but that's pretty handy to have there, so you don't have to guess. You just, if you don't have that degrees in your head, you just set it on your 1012 and run it. It's got them all the way over here too. That's super cool. Yeah, and you can see the picture here. This is why you slide those, so that when you bevel it, you don't hit the fence. I've done that before. I've cut the fence before, actually. So to bevel it, you lift that up, and you can see here as I push it over, the blade would hit the fence. So you have to loosen it up and slide that guy out of the way. And then you're free to cut. And while I've got it tipped like that, I'm noticing this. This could be used either lefty or righty, I guess, except you have to kind of reach over a little far. But there's a locking, whatever you call that, safety. So you can pull it left or right, whichever way is more comfortable for you. I personally wish it didn't have a safety. I don't like having these things. It just makes everything harder when you're trying to work. Actually, that's the way. Maybe you could do it like that, you could do it like that, you could do it like that, or like that. There's tons of options. So I guess pulling your thumb down on like that's probably the easiest way. Do not carry by the handle. Oh, watch your pinchy fingers. And then right on top of the knuckle here, there's there's 2 screws here. If you can see those 2 set screws, and it says Glide Movement Controller, adjust screws. So my guess is this changes the resistance in that knuckle, because it is it's super easy to push this thing, which is awesome. It's almost too smooth, especially compared to what I'm coming from. It is really tall, I will say that, but I'll get used to it. So on the bottom of the motor facing you, there's this blade change instructions. So while I've got this looking at it, let's try to change the blade. So I'm going to grab my little tool here. Number 1, loosen this screw. Not with that. Unscrew completely, it says. All right. Boom. Okay, let me show you that. And that has a little clippy jobber on it, so the screw won't fall off, so you don't have to worry about losing that screw. Loosen. Loosen. Rotate guard. I'm confused. Oh, I didn't loosen it enough, apparently. So on this one, there's a little tab here that's back like that. You have to loosen that enough to get the tab past it. Then once you're there, you just pull that guy up. This is a little weird. I wish it had a way to stay there. Huh. I don't like that. I think I might just pull this right off. It's probably just as easy. That's easier for me than having that thing dangling in your way, trying to mess with this. So then you use this guy, and you push that red button I showed you earlier, and I don't know which way it goes. Usually these are reverse thread. Well, that didn't work. Bosch. Come on, Bosch. They didn't win there. All right, so I got my vice grips, which still have the last thing I used in them. I think it's reverse thread, so let's try it this way. Well, let's try it this way first. What the f is going on with this thing? So I just checked the instructions. I was definitely turning it the right direction. I cannot believe that this thing broke twice. It broke on the bend, and I was like, oh, it was on the bend. And then it just broke again. So I'm gonna go get one of my own and see if that works better. So I did have a 6mm on my little guy here. So we'll see if it breaks mine. Wow, that's on there. Oh. So it didn't break mine, which meant this thing is a piece of shit. So it's too bad because I need the little one. I wonder what size that is. Hopefully it's a millimeter-ish. 4. So you're gonna need to go out and buy a 4mm and a 6mm, or just get one of these millimeter guys. That's really disappointing, but okay, so that's how you do that. And it is reverse thread. Pull the blade out. So these are the blades that I like to use. I pulled this one off of my other saw right before I sold it. And I think it was still pretty, looks still pretty new. Pop that guy on there. Alrighty. Okay. All right, so now that we got my new blade on, let's plug this puppy in. And we'll give it a test with a 1x12. Oh. Gonna need that bag after all. Not used to all that dust flying out. Okay, so now I'm unplugging it. I'm gonna check it for square, see how this thing is running. Wow. Out of the box, that's not great. I'll check that cut I just made. So hopefully you can see this. Right out of the box, that is not even close to square. Like, there's a lot of wiggle room there. And I'll take a 1x4, flip that up on its end, just to see how it is. This way. That's not bad, but it is open on the bottom here. You can see me wiggling it. I don't know if you can see it or not. Flip it around the other way. Yeah, it's definitely not right on. Now, it did get shipped, so this came UPS or something, so I bang it around and who knows. So there is some tweaking to do before I can use it. All right, so that's it. Thanks for watching. I will do a follow-up video where I show how to set this thing up. I'm not gonna do that right now, so my initial impressions are 2 thumbs up. Actually, 2 thumbs up. I do like it, feels really solid. I love the glide action. Everything about it's good in my book. So there we go. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment down below. There are links for this, the blade and the tools and all that stuff down in the description. So let me know what you think. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel for more tool reviews and other business videos like this, and I'll see you on the next video.